please take the roll.
Stephen Meisel.
Here.
Jim Falke.
Here.
Jeremiah Kiecker.
Here.
John Kohl.
Here.
Rick Koenen.
Here.
Bobby Marks. Here. Dan Sambs.
Here. We're in compliance with the open meetings law.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Trustees have received copies of the September 9th, 2014 meeting. What are the board's wishes?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 9th meeting.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion by Ms. Marks, seconded by Mr. Koenen to approve the minutes of the September 9th meeting. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We move on to the informal public comments. First of all, Emmy Kiecker, St. John's of Bloomfield, is here.
She's not here.
Not here yet?
I don't know if she's coming.
Oh, not coming, okay. Request the use of the parking lot for trunk or treat October 25th from 3 to 7. I think she spoke with you about that, is that correct?
Correct.
What do you know about it?
She had just said the trunk or treat, where they're requesting the use of the lot on the corner by Mobile, and they gather and park their cars in a parking lot, and they open their trunks or the backs of the vehicles and decorate them, and they pass out candy from their trunks, and it provides a safe family environment for the trick-or-treaters. They're looking for the school PTO to be there, and an outreach.
I'd make a motion to approve the request by Emmy Kiecker for St. John's PTO to hold trunk or treat on October 25th from 3 to 7 p.m.
I'll second that.
All right, motion by Mr. Kohl, second by Mr. Van Lysel to approve the request for Emily Keeker's St. John's PTO of East Bloomfield to use the parking lot for trunk or treat October 25th from 3 to 7. Any questions or discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Opposed? Motion carried. Second item, Langley Fremont Girl Scout presentation of a possible troop fundraising project for walking biking trail on Wolf River Drive. All right.
That's so some of the girls couldn't make it tonight, but Emma has some kind of presentation as to why. Go ahead. So you can tell them a little bit about what you have to do for Bronze Project. You have to do something that what?
Do a bronze project for Girl Scouts
To improve.
improve the community.
And so they decided, the 4 girls, to do what?
Make a walking trail on Bloomfield Drive.
And why does that improve the community?
It makes it safer for walking and biking, and that will help people stay healthy, and it will increase the downtown traffic and increase sales and community traction
Interaction, yeah.
and traction.
Yep, and some attraction, yeah. And where do you want to do it? Where's they found,
The south side of Wolford Drive, from the post office to the beach.
and the reason they picked that spot is because it's kind of a blind curve, the girls were talking about, it's a very, blind curve after the post office, west of it, so they thought that section was kind of dangerous. My kids have rode their bike to school, the other girls have rode their bikes, walked, those types of things, and said that that's kind of a scary curve. And when do we want to have that complete?
We were hoping by the summer of 2015.
And what they were looking for, we did talk with our Girl Scout representatives, and they did say that what we want to do is just let you know that this is a project we'd like to work on. This is a project that we will fundraise for. We have already basically sent out about 8 letters to area construction companies asking for quotes as to about how much they think it's going to be for like a peat gravel. The obstacles that we're going to run into were right of way, of course, with we want to make it right next to the road because I think that's easier for everyone. And we were thinking about the south side because it already has the sidewalk on the south side downtown, so it would be kind of a continuance after the post office. And we were looking at minimum 36 inches with about 6 to 8 inches of gravel, with course, and then the fine. So we're just waiting on those estimates, and then we will be going around and, of course, talking with those people that live on Wolf River Drive, getting petitions if that's something that would help see how much of a need there is, but that's what they came up with, so. Oh, and then we also talked with the Girl Scout Council, and they do have a grant application designated that writes grants and applications, so we are looking to get grants through the Girl Scouts as well. So.
Okay, well, good luck to you. That sounds like a worthwhile project, and there is a lot of pedestrian traffic there, for sure, when you see that area, not only for the school, but for the beach and downtown for that matter too. So, what else? I guess, I'd say good luck and,
Your blessing?
yeah, sounds like a good project.
Very good.
Right. If you need some shovels, we have some shovels.
Sure, we'll take the hands that go in the shovels too.
Okay.
Do we need the petition?
I don't think it would hurt. Wouldn't hurt, you know. It'd be worthwhile. Go ahead.
But as far as like, contacting the property owners and such, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But I think to me, it sounds like a real good idea.
And I did talk a little bit with Park and Rec Director up in Waupaca, I'm trying to remember what his name is, Roger Holman. And he said that we would probably have to do a little bit of upkeep as far as the gravel because it would have some weeds, so we talked about that and how the girls may have to just go through and spray. And that's the project they could do every year, every spring.
Good idea.
So,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
All right, next, Jennifer Moore, the Optimist Club, discussion and questions regarding possible Yellowstone Trail celebration. Is Jennifer here?
Yep.
Okay, you have the floor.
Well, I had sent via email to Dawn a sheet of some questions, and yep, I see you have those in front of you, so I guess we were looking to get some of those questions answered if we could. Basically, the Optimist Club would like to bring in a Yellowstone Trail Festival next year, 2015. We have a weekend pegged in August, but there are not other events locally going on. However, it's been a while since Fremont has hosted a festival, so we wanted to see what we needed to do, what you guys might recommend that we do, so that we can start our just shy of a year progress into getting this festival up and running.
I see about 10 activities listed here. I guess I just have a couple questions. It looks to me like this is a pretty big undertaking, and I guess I wondered how many people do you have, how much help do you have? It would take a lot of people to pull some of this stuff off.
Correct. Both myself and Mary have been going around and talking to people in the community. It has been very well received, and we do have a lot of people that have said that they're interested in helping. Now, granted, there's probably going to be some fallout with that, but hopefully, people will maintain the interest in wanting to have some of these events brought back to Fremont. Some of these are repeats of things that have successfully happened here before. We're just trying to bring it into something that would be a 3-ish day weekend, starting with a Friday night fish fry in the park, Saturday day full of activities, and then Sunday a half to 3/4 day of activities, following up with the web footers. They would have their closing show.
I think the only thing we would be concerned about would be like the closing of streets and such. I mean, certainly can't close the streets for 3 days, but I'm sure, you know, like on a like sporadically, you know, maybe a few hours on Saturday.
Right,
and
Saturday
Sunday.
would be the main day we would be interested in having it closed. We would like to bring in cars, 100-year-old cars, and for their safety, the pedestrian safety, and also have one large parade of people, but having the cars start off with those parades. And we don't want to be tying up traffic. We
Right.
want to have a good, clear section of street that we can work with.
And there's people that are asking for street dances. So our question is, could we reserve the village property right here where we could put tents up? And they could have the music there and they could dance in the street, so at like a certain times, the street would be, you know, so it wouldn't be shutting the street completely off.
I know in the past, like when the Wetfooters had street dance, I think they had one
Right there.
right out here.
That's what we were thinking.
You know, now there's more room in this parking lot. You know, like from 8 to midnight or whatever.
Right.
And I noticed you mentioned the noise and, you know, you'd have to get permits and that kind of stuff, but I don't see any problem, you know, with that for a one-night thing.
Would you have to reserve both parks? With everything going on here, you probably have to reserve the big park over here.
Oh,
The whole
yes,
weekend.
because I talked to the Rendezvous people up in Waupaca, you know,
Might wanna camp
Steve Kramer,
Uh-huh.
and they are interested in coming. He hasn't said for sure yet, but they would like, then they would be in the park. Also, we've got the helicopters reserved. They're gonna be here, and we usually put them as, they come in and they fly out of, down in, I think we need like a 40 by 100 feet for them, and I always put them right next to the, that little lagoon down there in the park. And then, so they don't use a lot of area. And they're gonna, and I might as well tell you this, they're gonna charge $40 a ride and shorter rides for $20. So you can pass the word too, because I thought that was really reasonable. And they're the same helicopter people that we've had before.
If you're talking about down in the parking ramp for the boat landing, if it's a busy weekend, there's always some conflict down there. We'd prefer not to block that parking lot off. We have a pretty good-sized parking lot back here now. And I know last time they had a helicopter in town,
Yeah.
they took off right in back here,
One time we did do a helicopter thing back here.
right here.
That might even be a better spot.
If that's where you want them.
I'd
As long as
rather
there's
not
no-
shut off, I'd
there's
rather
no
not shut
wire.
off the parking at the boat ramp.
Okay.
So I think there are a lot of good ideas on here. There's one that I didn't like was anything out on the highway.
Yeah, that hayride thing from the church,
I don't think, I would
that's
favor
scary.
any kind of activity that would
Okay.
impede traffic out there in the highway. Go out there and see how fast they move. If you wanna, I would see if you want a parking spot, maybe you ought to check with the school. They've got a big parking area up there
Okay.
somewhere. Do hay rides up that way, but
Well, the hay rides would be right here in town, but we'd have to find another way, because we were just talking about like the church over here and out by Anglers. We'd have to find another way to get the people into town that way.
well,
What about those wagons that they use up in Waupaca? And like you could, and maybe we could have trucks pull them? I think they could get them out of Iola.
I don't know about that, but I think at this point, I don't think it's a good idea for us to sit here and try to work out all the
Okay.
details of this whole operation. I think what you guys need to do is come to us with let's look at some of these other questions quickly and give you kind of an idea of what will work and what we don't think will work, and then you can work from there. Porta potties is listed on here. I would think there would be possibility of putting some porta potties up where the action is. I don't think we'd have a problem with that. What else is on here? old cars, I don't see that we have a problem with that. Vendors, if you have room, I don't see a problem with that, we've done that already. Electric boat parade, I'm not sure about that, what's that involve?
That would be a parade on the water.
Is that,
Venetian boat parade.
yeah, I was wondering electric, I think it's the Venetian boat parade. I don't know, I think that was, on this sheet it says electric boat parade, but.
All right,
I think it's,
street dance, we've talked about that, I don't think that would be a real big problem. Use of the village gym, we've done that before. Bouncy house, I don't think that's
Except
that
not,
big of a
not on a
problem.
day like today, though.
Yeah.
Correct.
There was just an article in the paper about some kids got hurt in one that
Yes.
blew away.
Yeah.
Might talk to the Legion too, the Legion has property, has the parking lot across over there by the tank. So there's possibilities there. So I think it's up to you guys to have some more specifics for us.
Okay, I do have another question though. This Ed Brandt from Antigua that's got the horse-drawn wagon, if he comes for 2 days and gives rides in town here, he wanted to know where he could leave his horses overnight, and I told him I thought maybe that I could just have them up there on my lots. Would there be any problem with that?
Only for you, probably.
No, I'm just wondering, would the village care if they stayed overnight?
I
you know?
don't think so.
We have
I'm
a-
only asking because some dumb bunny will say something otherwise.
We
you
had
know?
one that stayed here, just,
I know.
for that Packer game where they stopped here in Fremont and stayed in back of Nancy's gifts and stuff. I don't think we'd have a problem wherever.
Okay, I'll mention it to Karen and Nathan and Clappers too, because they'd be the only ones that would be bordering that.
I
Give 'em
don't
a
think.
I
free
know
ride.
it sounds dumb, but like I said, you.
Yeah?
Tell them you'll provide them some further flowers.
And then another thing with the insurance, the International Optimus, is it?
Optimus International does carry their own insurance.
It's $1 million coverage for all events.
All right, good. All right, well, I think it's very nice that you're doing this, and I wish you luck, and if there's more that we can do, let us know, but I guess at this point, when we got this, we were just saying, where, so this helps, so, but do you think that your questions have been answered here now, pretty much, or?
Yes, and if I have any further questions, then I will come back.
All right, I think we got a lot more to go on now.
I agree.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not trying to cut you short or anything, but we're going to have a long agenda here tonight. Okay, next I believe we have Mr. Gretchen.
I'm on.
You're on the floor.
I didn't realize you had so many supervisors. I didn't get this many.
Sorry, we can share. We can share.
Let me give you one more, just here, but if you guys, but this is just goes on, I'll go through and on, here, I think, Bobby. I got the right one here, you guys can then go two minutes on. Just so I got one myself, so I remember what so I get the right one. Do I have one? Yeah, I do. Is it the one? I'm sorry. No, sorry. Oh, that's the one in 2014. I know you haven't had a chance to digest it. 2014, is that right? Yeah. Okay. This is kind of funny. I say, no, I really ain't, but I'm just gonna give it to you. That's in 2010. It's 2010, that's the bid I gave. I'm just, if you guys can pass that, I apologize, I didn't realize I had some. If you see in 2010, I gave you the same price that right now that I gave in 2010. And in 2010, when I increased it from $3.45 for the last 4 years, somebody forgot in a computer that we found out they could put in these new charges from 2010. So, yeah, you smile. He thinks I'm getting senile, I guess maybe I am, but I says, that's my son Joe, and he says, I forgot. But if you look it out, it is $3.45. I never got from 6.45. I never put in the 6.75. So that was to your advantage. It's done, it's gone, so it's over with. That was, so the first proposal there is like it is would be right now. It's at the old price 4 years ago, it's $6.75 with plus the school charge over the fuel, I raised that, it was $3.63. I never charged you for the fuel charge, it was crazy, there for $4, whatever, you've never had, the village is always, we've been forgiving a little bit, I know some companies get pretty aggressive on that. Recycling pickup actually went down, it was $3.20, it's now at $2.90, and we're giving you a rebate at $10 a ton. It's fluctuated between $10 and $15 a ton for rebates from the county that we give back to the village. It's taken off your village thing. Now this is the thing. I went back one whole year and a little beyond. This would be my preferred thing, but you're the village if you're elected to prove any of this, which I would be really wonderful. It comes to $2 and some cents over the tonnage, and if Dawn probably went by and did all that, she'd see the same thing. I would prefer to charge you $9.21 a unit, and then for the first 3 years, I'm going to 5-year contract at $9.36. It adds on the $2 and it helps $2.46 per resident for the tonnage. You're averaging 24 to 26 tons a month of garbage. That's, if you go back, that's just hard fact numbers what it's meant. Why I say that is, if I come through or whatever, I can go through, nobody worries about anything. I pay for it, it's gone, it's done, and we don't have to figure out the tonnage in the office, keep track weights and all that stuff. It makes it a little bit. We can certainly do that. It doesn't really matter one way or the other. This I would like better, and I think for, whatever. And now we're at 32.70 a ton. I don't think we're gonna have an increase next year because they usually are letting us know now because we have to notify our accounts and townships and things ahead. So I think we're pretty safe with this figure, and we always get a reduced rate, which is passed on to you in that tonnage rate. I don't know, I guess I explained it, or did I kind of confuse you, or does this seem pretty, questions? I'm sure you have some.
Would we still get, and I don't know, Debbie, we have to do a report at the end of the year with all of our tonnage. Would we still get a report so that we can report to the county what we're getting?
Okay.
Because normally we get the slips every, the weekly slips.
Yeah, we can. You need that. Debbie, what do we, hi Debbie, I didn't see you. How much, I know we need, well, recycling is a gift because we're taking recycling there, so you're getting slips, we're getting slips, and we're passing that to Doug, so that's not a problem.
Right, there's no problem with that. I usually go ahead and work with Lisa in Lynn's office because they get the tonnage reports, and then I get them also just to compare that we have the same, and then there's no problem with that.
Well, I guess the question is with the trash, do we need, how specific do I need to keep that, or do we need for the reports?
For the trash?
For the trash, do you need something for, I don't know if you have grants or anything, but there's no grants or nothing, is there?
Not for trash.
Nothing for trash.
Nothing.
So there's no real, I guess, am I answering right? I guess we don't really need it. We can certainly have an estimate, but is that what you would like, or what? Or do we need that?
No, the garbage, the trash.
I'm just talking about the garbage right now. The recycling we'd still give you, you'd still get, Debbie needs that, and we always get that back, and then we always give it, and then to give, so you have proof of your rebates, whatever they are.
So, you're saying we have about 24 to 26 ton a week right now?
Yeah, average it out, if Dawn goes through it, she's gonna get, I got all the tons, 25, 20 tons, 23, 24, 20, it goes all, it averages out for 12 months, the last 12 months, it's $2.46 per resident. And I added that to the, $2.46, and I added that to the $6.75 for the first 3 years, which came to $9.21, and then the $6.90, I added the $2.46, came to $9.36 for the last 2 years of the contract. So you're under $10 a month for your garbage pickup. We charge in other areas, $12 is our cheapest, $12 for garbage pickup, $17 it is for City of Waupaca. It's $10, it's under $10, we realize we gotta cut one check, and and it's a streamlined, more operational than when we bill out separately, but that's what, in the individual, I don't know if it has any merit here, but that's what I do.
I see Debbie nodding back there, and she's apparently.
That is a very good rate, definitely,
Okay.
there, because they've got, some people that individually subscribe with other haulers can be anywhere, say, close to $90 for a quarter. And so that's $30 a month. And this is very, very reasonable.
Okay, very good. Well, any other questions from the board at this point? Would you like to make a motion here or anything?
I'd like to make a motion to grant this contract for creation sanitation, line B, garbage pickup including disposal cost of 9.1 per unit for the first 3 years. The last two would be 936.
Second.
Now, if we just, are you overlooking like Part B that said the fuel surcharge? Are you intentionally overlooking that, or?
Yeah, he stated that he hasn't charged us in the past, so I wasn't sure if I should put that in there, but yeah, I intentionally skipped over that.
Okay.
Should I put that in my motion that it'll be granted?
I didn't hear it. Did you?
I did not put the fuel surcharge in my motion.
Yes, I would put that in there. I mean, you could do that, developer change. It's gonna be in the agreement that I've got. I had one of each to see which way we went that way. And it's in there about that fuel charges, that amount is in that thing, not to go same verbiage as what's on.
Okay. And the same with Part E there, he doesn't have any control over what the landfill tipping charge might be.
Right.
What if it goes up to 33? He said he'd like to be able to adjust it. And is that something we want to put in there too for his benefit? We're talking about 5 years here.
Yeah, that is in the verbiage here too.
Okay.
In the contract.
It's in the contract?
Yes, it does say that.
And would it be easier to approve the contract with these?
I guess it probably would be, yeah.
I just have a question about the fuel surcharge there. You say we have a fuel surcharge over $4 per gallon based on weekly usage of fuel.
Right.
So that say it goes up to $4.25 a gallon.
Okay.
Are we paying that 25 cent per mile?
No, I don't. I do it probably as unintelligent. I don't want to use that word, but anyway, what I do is go on gallons used. These people come in with this, and don't want to get off track. They go these prices with fuel charges for one business to another business. One is $20-some, one is $10. The same truck stops there. I don't get it. What I do is with the contracts that I've done, and you can see I have been very generous with that fuel charge. The fuel charges were one time bumping up around $4 and $4.05 and you had this thing in here for $3 and I think it was 53 cents or 3.60 something. We never went. We looked at that. We knew what was happening. We didn't know where it was going. We didn't charge that to the thing. But to answer your question would be, we go on gallons used. We got a 100-gallon tank. We know it uses about half that. You're probably go under 40, 50 gallons. I take under that day, and that's how I base that on. I'm not gonna be, raping. It's gonna be 40 gallons or 50 gallons. We'll have a guide on that. And then if it goes up a nickel a gallon, it'd be 5 times 50 gallons, $2.50. It's not gonna be minimal probably unless it goes up to $100 a gallon. I don't think this is gonna be a big deal.
That's right.
But that's how that's a fair question because I didn't explain what I did.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I know our company,
Yeah, and that's
6
how
years ago, we just started charging a $5 service delivery.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, not comparable, but get back to each business.
Yeah.
It's how do you charge one when you go and get that? It's really I don't know. It's just whatever, but that's not.
Yes, no,
I
you did
guess
good.
I answered the
Yeah.
question, yeah.
Thank you.
So basically, if we're gonna make a motion, I guess we have to see the contract or just eliminate the A on this sheet of paper. Should I make a motion for that?
think we ought to amend
I
your
don't think
motion.
you-
But do we have to eliminate this A, this,
That's really not in.
That was just a
Oh.
point of information.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so what's actually in the contract, that's just a summary.
and it's a 5-year
And B
contract?
through E or whatever are in the contract, so basically you just wanna make a motion to
Okay, I'll make a new motion to
approve the
approve
contract.
Operation Sanitation's contract.
Motion by Falke, seconded by Mr. Coenen to approve the contract with Ration Recycling as specified in the discussion earlier, and the figures on here on this contract are in agreement with what we discussed here. And this would be from January 2015, and it doesn't say on here when it ends, I don't think, on the contract. Doesn't say that. Yeah, it does here, yeah, ending December 31st, 2019. Okay, any further discussion? All right, those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay.
Thank you very much. The only thing I got, one thing is with this recycling, is this is what you sent me, Debbie. And I filled this all in, and I don't know if they want that tonight or what from you.
Oh, because I wasn't sure.
Okay, I did that, and I think that's what you want. So I could probably hand that to the board, and then you need a copy of that.
Well, if they wanted to sign it, and if you wanted to sign it, then I can take it and have our
Then we can get it
board
done right
sign
here.
it and then send a copy back to you.
Okay, then I guess it's approved, so I'll just sign it, leave it with the board, and if they get this all.
They can sign it
Okay,
tonight.
I'll just put this up here. Yeah, this is for the recycling for the county. No, not this, I got. I should.
I think Jeremiah, there's room for you on here too to sign. That's here, the chief man in the garbage stuff here.
Chief Garbage Man?
Oh, you bet. That's why you get paid the big bucks. That's right. Here, you got 2 more of them too.
What one, is there one more?
Here, sign this too, here. This one here, that's yeah. No, that's the regular contract. Lynn's gonna sign that, a copy of that for us too.
Jeremiah, really, are you a doctor or what? Or you just think you're?
Lynn, you wanna sign these,
We delivered 30 accounts in a day.
garbage contracts
I
here?
learned to sign quickly, before we had the nice computers.
And you can give these, we get one.
Debbie, she'll take a different one and give it back to us.
Yeah, the county will pack it.
You take all 3?
Take all 3 and then I'll have our board members sign it.
Sign your copy if you want, as long as we've got it, please have a sign.
This is all we need for George.
Yeah, okay. That's all, I don't think so. Give those to Debbie.
Before you move on, just like the last one, that's one thing, I've been here a very long time. I'm getting old, my son is kind of coming into it, we've had opportunities to probably sell out to bigger people. We've decided to stay in this business. I don't know if that's good or bad for him, but I'm getting close to 70. I can't hear and I can't remember what to put in a computer anymore, so I think I'm getting voted out anyway pretty soon.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just want to say, years ago I was a barber, long time ago, way back. And this this was kind of figured this is, I don't know if my town is the right word. I probably don't wanna use that too, to thing with it, but I think as myself part of the community, some way, I really do. I've known a lot of people, a lot of cases, that I said to them coming down, and I don't mean to take a lot of your time, I said, but he said, you know how many people on the board? I said, hell no, I don't hardly know anybody anymore. I used to know everybody around the town, but to get older. But my point is, I just want to, appreciation is here. We have kind of investment in your community. We care about it. I care. And we're gonna do the best we can for you. And if we have anything that we can do, Dawn is, Lisa's very workable. We try to be that way. We want to know the problems, and we will fix them. So that's just my speech, so.
Yeah. Well, we think we've had a good relationship, and we're happy with the service we've gotten, and so we thank you, and
Well, I thank you.
good luck to John, and good luck to you. And,
Yeah, that's it.
yes, he's
We'll let him struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
The only guys I feel bad for are those guys on the day after a holiday. You know,
Yeah.
they got to do double duty. They get Monday off, and then Tuesday they got to work 14, 18 hours.
Yeah, it's not a kind thing for our business. We can't lock the door and start another day. It's good, but it works. We know what we're faced with. So, yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you,
We
Debbie.
shouldn't approve that contract until they sat through our budget meeting.
Yeah.
I think the price would have went down.
Yeah.
Already?
All right. That's it for public comment. I think we move to committee reports. I will start with Bobby.
Police report.
Oh, police report. Oops. All right, 20 complaints in September, 1 article found, assist other departments 7 times, 3 in the town of Fremont, assist the public once, 1 family complaint, 1 harassment complaint, 1 miscellaneous, 1 ordinance violation, 1 sex offense, 5 traffic complaints, 1 vandalism. The squad car was driven 2,736 miles, there were 30 shifts, 258 hours spent on those shifts. Actual hours worked 255.5. Traffic enforcement action, there were 42 incidents, 27 citations issued, no written warnings, 1 parking citation, 15 verbal warnings, no traffic crashes for the month. So far, only 1 this year. Radar enforcement, 40 minutes near the Village Hall, 4 hours and 20 minutes on Tustin Road, 7 hours on Tustin Road, and about 3 hours more on Tustin Road. Narrative, the Waupaca County Sheriff's Department handled 3 calls in the month, 2 to assist the public and 1 vandalism. The 29th annual fishing tournament was held and over 90 children attended. The department did not receive any noise complaints from a liquor establishment in the month. Respectfully submitted, Gene M. Goody. Thank you, Gene. All right.
How are we doing with, town of Fremont and the billing?
I don't see the billings go out. I have not gotten a check. I don't know what,
Really?
I have not gotten a
Okay,
check in some.
all right, thanks.
Okay, we start with Fallen Library, Bobby.
Oh, here we go. The library had 3 programs in September, 63 attending, 56 for the drop-in program. There were 3,259 items checked out, renewed, 187 sessions on the computer, 59 ebook users, 21 download of audio users, and Fremont loaned out 1,242 items and borrowed 862 items. Story Lab started on Wednesday, September 12th at 10, and those other programs will start in October. There's Lunch and Learn on Wednesday. There was one on Wednesday the 10th of September. 40 adults attended. First grade class from Fremont walked down to the library September 17th and had a tour of the library. All the kids received a library card and we're allowed to check out 2 books, one nonfiction and one fiction. The adult book club met this last Monday. There will be a lunch and learn on October 29th in conjunction with National Food Week. If I want to go to that one. Everyone's invited for a soup lunch and a great movie. I think they want you to know that when they have these lunch and learns that they're not spending any money on these lunches. It's either donated or paid for by the Friends of the Library. So, pretty much the library for the month of September. Any questions, comments? The other thing, last month we talked about the shed out back and how it was looking pretty shabby around the bottom. And Ken took some of the materials that were left over from siding the building next door and fixed it up pretty good, but he needed some additional supplies. So we spent about $600 painting and re-siding the shed. Supplies for the shed were like $300 for some more material, like what was at from the Merrick building, and then paint, about $280 worth of paint. So it's all painted, re-sided on the rotten siding, so it should last for a good many more years.
I think he put aluminum fascia and soffit around the whole thing too. And those boards were getting to be in pretty bad shape, so it looks nice.
We had looked at it that one day and it was pretty hot. So he fixed it all up and it cost about $600, which is pretty cheap for what we had done.
Pretty fortunate to have Ken. I think he just,
Yeah, yeah.
not only is he a go-getter, he's an all-around handyman. He does it all. I went through the nature trail the other day and I mean, what he's done in there, I know he asked for some permission to somebody else to cut some dead trees down, but it's all cleaned up in there. It looks very nice.
Speaking of that, there's probably some more stuff down today, but a couple days ago, the person who lives at the same address as I do happened to be walking through there, and she said that there was another tree down up in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
So don't tell me about it.
It was all clear a couple days ago.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, well, that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you. Utility, Jim.
We had the yearly meeting, for Hula Joint Sewer Commission. The officers stayed the same. Ward Weiss is president, Harley Bartle vice president, Dan Sambs secretary, and Casey treasurer. All that stuff the same. I won't bore you about the very expensive sludge removal that's going to have to be done in the pits. We don't. The meter at Yogi Bear was inspected and calibrated. Good order. I know we talked about that. It seemed like things weren't correct previously, years past, and I think they have new people in there trying to do right for the community and keep things in order. We are up to renew MCO's contract in November. It is on the agenda. They do a good job for the village at a reasonable fees compared to what other municipalities are paying, so I don't think there'll be a problem approving that contract. The other thing I wanted to ask Rick and Steve if I could set up a meeting. We got to go through our billings, how much we're going to charge residents, and see if we're in line with that. What my thought was to do that in December, like an hour before the board meeting. If Dan's available for that also, if we could put that down at 5 o'clock December. I'm not sure what the date would be. December 9th. Would that work for both of you guys?
Yeah.
5 o'clock, yes. Okay, then that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Ordinance and recycling, Jeremy?
Well, the county recycling shortfall estimate, know, you talked about it a little bit before, but the reason there's a shortfall is there was a 40% reduction from state in the recycling grant funds and the poor market or the sale of recyclables. And what that means is the county faced a $100,000 shortfall in their budget, which gets passed on to us. And how they did that was the municipal recycling assessment for 2014 is going to be $239 per capita for each municipality. That'll make up $100,000. So with our 677 people, we'll get charged an additional $16,1803 2014 on top of what we already paid.
Is that going to start in 2014 or 2015?
We paid in 2015.
Yeah, we paid, sorry.
How
Paid
much
it in
is the
2000.
shortfall under the, for us?
For us, it'll be $16,1803. I can show you the letter that we received from the county if you want.
Oh, that, okay.
And then on the back, it shows what everybody's
Got it. All right.
going to be assessed.
I was going like 16,000.
Oh, sorry, no, I.
16,
we aren't-
that's not enough numbers.
We aren't quite that big of a part of the county,
I'm like,
Evans.
what? Okay, got her. Put my decimal point there.
It is what it is, and there is a, if you show a financial hardship, is that correct, Debbie? There's a lot of stipulations that go with that. I don't think we follow that criteria to get out of that.
We're getting close to it though.
So that's what I'll have. So,
Okay, very good.
any questions?
All right, Park and Beach, Steve?
Last Wednesday we pulled in the buoys. They were actually not that bad to pull up. So, we put left a bunch on the boat for Ken, and then we set some by the Waupaca Beach for him to bring in here. He's got them all cleaned up.
Started.
Started, okay. And then have to work on filling out the Tree City USA thing for next year. The deadline is December 31st, but I believe we have to pick a project. I don't know if we did it here. I mean, there's the trees by the park across the river that I know was brought up a couple months ago. Or the nature trail would be two.
More limestone in there, and we did a section last year as part of that, so
Maybe keep working on that.
we want to extend some of that.
Probably. Would we do that now or until next year? We probably actually would have to do it this year, wouldn't we?
Yeah, to get us done money this year.
Well, then I'll call Matt who does that.
Yeah, and usually you can just go ahead and do it wherever.
I can grab
I
whatever.
don't think we've ever had any motions on it in other years.
No.
Okay.
It's just up to the tree board.
Okay. Sounds good. Then I'll just have a couple questions for you later filling out that form.
Okay.
But we don't have to discuss that here. And that's all I got.
Okay, John, we have your name on here to give us a update on Wolf River Preservation meeting.
Yeah, the Wolf River Preservation meeting was about 2 weeks ago from tomorrow, on Wednesday, and they held the dues at $600 per municipality. However, last year, the city of Waupaca elected not to ante up. I guess their feeling is that they don't have any land on the river or any interest in it. That's their feeling, so they signed up to the $10 member of Wolf River Preservation. So they were gonna go, I guess a couple of the guys, I think Mike Klott and Mike Abraham, I think were gonna go to one of their meetings to get on the agenda to try and talk them into get back on there. But they can hold the dues at $600 this year, but it's, they've really become nothing more than, handling the buoys, and then they do a river cleanup, which they did this past August or June, and, they're a good group, they do try to do some things, but it's the same thing, it's the same people who are elected to positions every year, and it's just they don't have a lot of active people to really get going on some of these things that they initially want to
they could recruit some younger folk.
Yeah, you know, and they're talking about that rock dam that's up above Goose there where the river's filling in, but you know, nobody really has the drive or the energy to go at, trying to get in touch with anybody to see what they can do about it, plus it would probably cost about $500,000 to do anything, so.
Okay. And then for the employee and purchasing, John, you have anything to
I don't
report?
have anything this month.
Okay. Streets, Rick?
The only thing I have at, Tom, I talked to him about a snow plowing bid, he gave us an estimate here, we'll have a normal, estimate next month. But it will be the same price as last year, $65 per hour for 1 ton, $100 per hour, for, the front loader. $620 per snowfall. So I'll have the, we'll have that to us by next month, that's all I have.
All right. So these prices have been the same then for about 2 years.
Yes.
He does, I don't think anybody's disappointed with the work he does.
No.
All right, my report, I got the important job of setting Halloween trick or treat hours. I believe we usually pretty much duplicate what City of Waupaca does, and their hours are going to be on Sunday, the 26th of October from 3 till 5 p.m. And I would like to I'll entertain a motion to set trick or treat hours 3 to 5 p.m. on October 26th, Sunday.
Second that.
Any discussion?
Any discussion?
I've just through people talking, they think that the Sunday trick or treating is pretty lame for most, and I noticed there's a lot of municipalities that set it for Halloween, because it's a Friday night, and they set it for most of them were like from 5 to 7. I think 7 might be a little bit too late, but I don't know, I kind of like Halloween on Halloween, but, we've always followed Waupaca, but.
I think if
Well, you already have
next
a-
year when it's a Saturday, but kids don't get off school till 3 on Friday, and then by the time, well, it's past the other state. No, not yet.
It won't be,
It'll be
it
right
won't be
before.
yet.
So what's it get there, about 7:30?
About
Oh,
7.
it's darker, no. okay.
You already have
So,
a trunk or treat going on Saturday from 3 to 7.
I mean,
Should coordinate with that.
could.
I mean, if you're not gonna have it on Halloween, and you're gonna have it a week before, you might as well have it another day. But the thing is, that's gonna take away from their trunk and treat thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, I thought about that at first, I thought, well, we would get rid of it, get it all done at one time.
And they have hoopla at school that morning too.
And hoopla is on, so I think that's kind of, so, Sunday is, like I said.
I think the reason that we went to the daylight hours for safety, and I think the parents like it, the kids like it. I know other people, you heard the comment one way, I heard,
Yeah, exactly,
I
I
heard the
agree.
comment the other way that said Sunday afternoon, daylight hours is a good way to do it.
Yeah.
So I guess there's opinions both ways, like with anything else, I guess, so.
Plus you do the same time, so you can get double dip.
That's another thing. And the homeowners won't have 250 people, we're gonna go and have 150. So that, I understand that logic too, but I was just kind of reminiscing about my Halloween, and I liked it on Halloween. And I liked it when it was dark.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, those in favor of the motion, 3 to 5 p.m., Sunday the 26th. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right, clerk's report.
Okay, first off, I have two operator license applications for Julie Wittnik and Amanda Gilson. Neither one of them have any record that would prohibit the license being issued. Entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the operator license applications for Julie Wittnik and Amanda Gilson.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Kohl, seconded by Mr. Falke to approve the operator's applications from Julie Wittnik and Amanda Gilson. Any discussion? Those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next, I have this is a yearly memo of understanding between the County of Waupaca and the Village of Fremont for the statewide voter registration system. This is where we become a relier on the county that they enter all of our voter information, they enter our registrations into the system, things like that. Our fee for 2015 would be $300.
That's similar to what it's been, isn't it?
I don't have the other one.
I think
It
so.
was
It's been something
right,
like
very
that.
close to that. If I could entertain a motion for the approval of that as well.
You need a motion, or what's that?
Yeah, a motion to accept the memo of understanding.
I'll make a motion to accept the $300 payment to Pack County from the village for the statewide voter registration system for 2015.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Van Lysel, seconded by Mr. Falke to approve the memo of understanding and the payment of $300 for the voter registration. Any further discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And next one is, I received the contract for CliftonLarsonAllen for the 2014 village audit. Last month's meeting we had said we would go with them again. Their price is the same as last year, at $12,200 for the annual audit. We're still on board with that. The contracts for that. Need a motion on that again, we approved them doing that already.
Well, we just approved them doing it, we didn't
Have a
approve
price or
costs,
anything?
so
Okay.
I think we should. I make a motion that we accept the contract with CliftonLarsonAllen for the 2014 village audit.
I'll second.
$12,200.
All right, a motion by Ms. Marks, seconded by Mr. Kohl to approve the contract with CliftonLarsonAllen for the 2014 village audit. Any discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And then the last thing I have is the September court penalties. We had received $278.98.
All right. Is there any unfinished or old business from the previous meeting? All right. Last item on the new business, we had a demolition project at 216 and 220 Waupaca Street, which was not budgeted for. We do not have that kind of money just in our general fund for the village and what we call our tax account. So we did check with our auditor about the possibility of borrowing some money from the sewer savings account and cover those costs. And the auditor had no problem with that idea, that action. It should require board action. And what I would request would be a board action and a roll call vote to transfer an amount of $24,144. $24,144.
So we had some, oh, you're down here.
Okay, I was,
I was good at the 30.
yeah, I was with
It said the years past were already done,
Yeah.
paid.
Some of that stuff is been,
Okay.
we've covered some of the earlier
Okay.
costs.
When we borrow from the sewer saving line, when is that sewer saving, when are they going to need the money back?
That's a good question. When are they gonna need it back?
I mean, are we looking, are we hoping to recoup it before they need it back? Or we're gonna run into trouble?
No, I think we are in, the sewer savings account, I think, is pretty stable.
Okay.
I guess, question two would be, are we gonna pay some interest on it? Put some interest on it?
And speaking with Mike, he said, the interest rates are so
So
low, so
minimal.
it'd be up to,
They're
that.
Doesn't amount to too much anything, I know what we're getting on.
Was our sewer get 1% or something like that? I know
Yeah,
it's
it's on some
money.
CDs, we're getting
Yeah.
about 1% on, 0.8 to 1% on a couple CDs.
Well, I think that we should pay back the sewer fund what they can get on it. I mean, I think we should pay them interest. So, I mean, if it's between 0.8 and 1%, whatever is the market demands.
Well, I'll make a motion to borrow funds from the sewer savings, the cost of demolition of 216 and 220 Waupaca Street, the amount of $24,144 at 1% interest.
I'll second it.
All right, motion by Mr. Falke, second by Ms. Marks to borrow $24,144 from the sewer savings account to the general fund to pay for demolition. And this was, it's not the total bill, by the way, but that will cover us then. All right, any discussion, further discussion? All right, those in favor, we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Ben Faisal?
Yeah.
Jim Falke?
Yes.
Jeremiah?
Yes.
John Kohl?
Yes.
Rick Koenen?
Yes.
Bobby Marks?
Yes.
Dan Sams?
Yes.
Seven ayes and 0 nays.
All right, communication. Just had one card from a citizen commending us for the action at 216 and 220 Waupaca Street, saying it's an improvement. So, other than that, I don't have any communication. I do not believe. Okay. Payment of bills.
In addition to the bills, we have our clean water loan. The wire would need to be done on October 31st, so I have the paperwork for that.
That's just the interest rate.
Yes, just an interest payment, so I need an approval to put that through. So that's not on the financials for today. October 31st is the wire date.
Yeah, so we need a motion to approve the bills as presented, plus the wire transfer to the Clean Water Fund of $4,040.83.
So moved.
All right, motion by Mr. Kohl,
Second.
second by Mr. Coenen to pay the bills as presented, along with the wire transfer to the Clean Water Fund of $4,040.83. Those in favor? Aye. Opposed? electronic stuff was gonna eliminate paperwork.
It never eliminates
Look at
paper.
that. You know, some municipalities, maybe something that we could look at, they've got a laptop, and you got everything right on their laptop. So you don't have all this stuff here. Maybe something we could look at. What does a laptop cost? $500?
You can get real, I know a lot of the boards have them without internet, even when they do them,
Yeah.
that they just use it for that, and
Or
they're
you just had
pretty
tablets,
simple.
you do it on a tablet.
There's some that do,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just have tablets.
Tablets only cost you 100 to 200.
You have to upload it every, probably.
We'll put that right in this budget.
Yeah, well, I got a spot for it. I think the library could buy something.
I would actually buy my own if I didn't have it.
Yeah. That's all right.
Good idea.
Do they ever have any glitches though, Angie? They have, all of a sudden people, go blank or anything like that?
Sometimes I will pack out as like a few of them before a meeting that should have the IT person helping them.
Yeah.
Because something's not working.
They probably, I would still
Older
sit,
board members.
yeah, I would still sit and pretend it was on. Even if I couldn't operate it. Okay, well, I guess,
Screwed around with the microphones quite a bit that we're,
yeah.
trying to figure out how to turn them on.
It
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
worked.
Okay,
Figure
well, I
that
guess,
strategy out.
I
You have to
guess,
turn it on a long time, in like in the morning, so they charge
now,
up.
if there's nothing else, I guess we, are going to, get the papers out and, wrestle with this budget for a few minutes, but I want to take a 2-minute break to go get a drink of water. If that's legal.
Today, you gotta stay for the budget.
No, I'm not leaving. Something on my belt.
I do, I would get this good.